Liberal TV host mocks Pam Bondi. Her response is shocking. The interview started like any other. The host welcomed Pam Bondi to the show with a smile, but there was a glint in his eye that hinted at what was coming. After a few pleasantries, he dove straight into the deep end. "Miss Bondi," he began, his tone shifting, "there's been a lot of criticism about your decisions during your time as Attorney General. How do you respond to those who say you failed the people you were supposed to protect?" The question was loaded, designed to put her on the defensive. The audience leaned in, waiting to see how she'd handle it. Pam Bondi paused for a moment, her expression calm but focused. Then, she spoke. "I don't justify my actions to anyone but the people I serve," she said, her voice steady, "and I stand by every decision I've made." The host raised an eyebrow, clearly not expecting such a direct response. But he wasn't done. He had more questions, and he wasn't going to let her off the hook that easily. The host pressed on, his tone growing sharper. "But don't you think your decisions have hurt innocent people?" he asked, leaning forward. "There are families out there who feel betrayed by your actions. How do you explain that?" Pam Bondi didn't flinch. She looked him straight in the eye and said, "Let me be clear. My job has always been about fighting for justice and protecting the people of Florida. If you want to have a real conversation, let's talk facts. But if you're here to play games, I'm not interested." The audience gasped. The host blinked, caught off guard by her boldness. He tried to interrupt, but she wasn't finished. "You can spin this any way you want," she continued, her voice rising slightly, "but the truth doesn't change. I've spent my career standing up for what's right, and I won't apologize for that." The tension in the room was palpable. The host, now visibly flustered, scrambled to regain control of the conversation, but Pam Bondi had already made her point. She had turned the tables, and everyone watching knew it. The host, now desperate to salvage the interview, tried one last tactic. "But what about the accusations of bias?" he asked, his voice tinged with frustration. "People say you've used your position to push a personal agenda. How do you respond to that?" Pam Bondi leaned forward, her eyes locked on his. "Let me tell you something," she said, her tone firm but calm. "I've dedicated my life to serving the people of Florida. I've fought for victims, stood up for the truth, and made tough decisions when others wouldn't. If that's a personal agenda, then so be it. But don't sit here and accuse me of not caring about the people I've sworn to protect." The room fell silent. The host opened his mouth to respond, but no words came out. For the first time in the interview, he was at a loss. Pam Bondi had not only defended herself, she had exposed the bias in his questions and turned the spotlight back on him. It was a masterclass in composure and strength, and it left everyone watching in awe. The interview ended shortly after, but the impact of Pam Bondi's response was undeniable. Clips of the exchange spread like wildfire online, with millions praising her for standing her ground and calling out the host's tactics. Comments flooded social media, with people calling it one of the most powerful moments in political interview history. The host, on the other hand, faced backlash for his approach. Critics accused him of being unfair and overly aggressive, while others praised Pam Bondi for her poise under pressure. It was a reminder that in the world of politics, preparation and principle can outshine even the toughest challenges. And for Pam Bondi, it was a moment that solidified her reputation as a force to be reckoned with. If you want to see the full interview and hear Pam Bondi's powerful response for yourself, make sure to watch the video linked above. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment like this. What would you have said in her position? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, stay tuned, because there are plenty more where this came from.